All right, greetings and welcome. Thank you for joining me here at Bloom From Within Love. I go by Bloomy, and as promised, you guys, I am back. I'm back to talk about this phenomenon, this whole topic of our subconscious mind, how routine affects the subconscious mind. I told you guys I was gonna come back on doing a little bit of research on it and then sharing my experience, okay? All right, so I referenced 3 sources, and that's typically what I do when I'm going in depth on a topic. You know, I kind of look for some consistency and some reputable sites, and things that just simply resonate with me, that's kind of clicking as I'm, seeking and being guided. And but again, just kind of reiterating a brief intro on this, okay? So, routine, you guys, and the subconscious mind. How are they interconnected, and really why is this so important? As I mentioned on the other video, our behavior is 90% governed by our subconscious. The subconscious holds within it what we currently truly believe, okay? Another reason why I advocate for deep energetic clearing and cleansing and an upgrade in consciousness with Peloa and things like that, because no matter what we want to say or on the surface level, whatever is stored in the subconscious, radiating or resonating as true, okay, no matter how harmful, toxic, or whatever we want to call it, whatever's there radiating as true is your truth, okay? The brain is very non-discriminatory. It is literally, it's conceptual, first of all, but it is like a computer. And I always liken to use that because a computer is non-discriminatory. It is simply gauging information. That's it, that's that, and that's all. It's not going to say, oh, well, you didn't mean to put this program in me, so I'm not gonna run it, okay? It is simply going to generate and run off of what is prevalent, okay? What is the consistent codes? What are the consistent softwares, if you will, or what's the consistency to an operating system that you load onto a particular hard drive or hard drive or system, if you will, right? So, as I was saying on that other video, subconscious, you guys, it is very important. It is driving 90% of your behavior, all right? And then routine, that is playing the role because it's creating that frequency of consistency in the pattern, okay? All right, so now, moving forward, I'll get into the 3 references that I researched, and then I'll get into a little bit more of my insight, and then of course I'll share some of my own personal experiences regarding rewiring the brain or rewiring the subconscious and how it literally plays out, because I feel like real life examples kind of helps us make sense of it all. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, right? All right, so if you guys hear noise in the background, forgive me, because I'm actually sitting in the living room, kind of got my door open to like get fresh air. So you may hear neighbors, you may hear a dog, you may hear all kinds of stuff. So I'm sorry about that. Now, the first reference that I have for you guys is from braintracy.com, okay? And according to the information found there, it says here, the subconscious will cause you to feel, listen to that, to feel emotionally and physically uncomfortable whenever you attempt to do anything new or different, right? It goes against any kind of changing of your established, hear me out, established patterns or behaviors. I was just talking about that. And then she mentioned that you can feel your subconscious pulling you back toward your comfort zones each time that you try to do something new. Okay? Very, very, very true. All you have to do is ask yourself this one question that everybody in the United States of America, dare I say, the world, has probably said. Every time I try to change something, one way or the other, I get to this apex, this plateau, this whatever you want to call it, and I can't move. I can't break that wall. I can't get past that. Well, that is to do with the subconscious programming system that's currently running, okay? And then, according to our subconsciousmind.com, they reference that it takes about, I know it's commonly heard 21 days, but not so much. It actually takes 6 weeks to reprogram the subconscious, okay? And depending on how deep the negativity or self-sabotaging thoughts or belief systems really are, it can take up to a year. It just really depends, okay? And then lastly, according to Inc.com, there is a way, a very simplistic way, and there are many ways we can do this, but this is just the site that I was referencing. 10-minute routine in the morning when you first get up, and a 10-minute routine right before you go to bed. And the routine that they made mention of is like basically meditating briefly and writing down in the morning when you wake up. Is this the morning one? Hold up, let me make sure. Nope, before bed. Sorry, had it mixed up. Before bed, meditating briefly and writing down some things that you're trying to accomplish, okay? And then when you wake up in the morning, instead of like going with technology and all this stuff, they're recommending that you do another brief meditation, but with like a thought dumping journal. So in other words, whatever those goals were that you wrote down in the night, in the morning, any thoughts as you sit kind of in quiet and in silence in a meditative, reflective mode, and this doesn't have to be a long time. Start just like loosely jotting things down. It doesn't have to be like perfect, but giving your brain and mind room and space to do that, because according to the research and study, those are the 2 times that the subconscious is more pliable. It's not that it wouldn't work any other time of the day, but its most effectiveness, I guess, based on the chemical, neurological shifts of our brain, in those times, whether it is right before bed or right as we're waking up, is most potent, right? And so I was like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. But as I was saying on the video that I did earlier when I was on break at work, another most simplistic thing that people use for that is affirmations, okay? And it's the repetitiveness, since I mentioned routine, the repetitiveness of doing that, at some point, the subconscious picks it up because it's something that you're doing constantly. So just like a system, if those of you who are techies or scientists or, that can relate to patterns, right? And could relate to how databases or systems or computers work, codes and all that stuff, right? Well, same difference. The subconscious is picking up the system. It's picking up that routine. It's seeing its consistency, and it's categorizing it, if you will, as something that's of extreme importance because it's constant. It is consistent. And so it is just by natural default deeming it as it must be important because it's here every day. It must be true. It's here every day. It must be, it's here constantly. So as you do that, at some point things start to shift for you, because see, now your subconscious is being retrained. So then in your conscious state, your full conscious state, your wake state, then you will start to notice a shift in your own thinking and your own perception. Okay, it may be very subtle, but the more that you are consistent with that, you'll see the shift. Okay, and I used earlier, I made a comment like, and I was just being rando, but I made a comment and I said, if you are a habitual complainer, your subconscious deems that as something of value and important, no matter how ludicrous this sounds. But again, the subconscious is non-discriminatory, just like universal law. It is non-discriminatory. It does not sit and evaluate, okay? It doesn't say, oh, well, I know that they're doing that. I know that they're saying that, but they don't really mean that. That's not the way it's designed. That's not the way it is formulated or formed. It simply just inputs. It takes that information. It simply takes it in and puts it where it's supposed to go. It doesn't really go and say, oh yeah, that was oopsie. Oh, they're just being jokey and silly and they didn't really mean any. That's us, and in our, should I say, dare I say, our 5-dimensional light body or version of us. But the brain, no. Okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hold on. I told you guys excuse me because I won't do it. Sorry. La la la. I actually love animals, but when you're trying to record, it's not that fun. Oh my gosh. Really though? Anyways. See, that made me lose my train of thought. Okay. So I was just kind of referencing, kind of the way it works, just to kind of bring it home to help people understand, like, that's really what's going on. And the very things in our life that most of us are frustrated with, and this is including myself, it ain't really about judgment, because, when we get into the judgment of ourselves, that's just a lower frequency, and it's still going to create further resistance. Despite popular belief, it's still going to create further resistance. So it's not going to help you to shift out of it. But hopefully, this information and finding like a tactic that works best for you can lovingly help you to reprogram your current belief system that you're running. And if you're questioning what your true belief system is, all you have to do is look at your pattern. Not what you say, not what you hope to attain, but all you have to do is look at your pattern, because your patterns in every area is going to tell you what you're currently running off of. It can be, even if it's akashic in nature, meaning ancestral bloodline, because we came with the program sets from them too. All right. And so that'll tell you whether it be, if it's about your health, if it's about your money, if it's about relationships, if it's about belief systems, I'll even go there. If it's about spirituality, if it's about, these things are literally programs. We live in a holographical reality. And they're all programs, neither good nor bad, but a program. And it's up to us to determine what we find as we start kind of awakening to things, what's working for us in a high vibrational way.
Sorry about that. I have to watch out.
What, a dog?
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I told you to just come on in.
I have to watch out for the problem before it's getting my heart.
Oh, yeah, they got too much going on right there right now, but I'm recording. Um, so, yeah, so just, I recommend, what had me so excited is because today, as I was listening to the young lady earlier during my normal routine of affirmations, she had said something that made me realize, like, oh, I saw how my routines were shifting, and I saw like the changes in a better way that I had implemented into my life, and how it had affected me, and how it was helping me in that moment. And it clicked for me at that very second, like, because I had started doing this so much, my subconscious deems it true and important. So no matter what's coming at me, or the curveballs, or the old way that would try to come back, or subconscious stuff that was old, or situations, no matter what happened, because I had habitually started these affirmations, or habitually started kind of reshifting into another zone, it was like second nature. Even though I felt, due to a particular scenario, I felt some kind of way, right? But because of the retraining, I responded very, very different. Very different. And it's not to say that we don't feel like moments of setback, or a moment where you kind of feel like you're sinking into an old feeling, vibration, or response. But the more we start to retrain and implement stuff like affirmations, some people use hypnosis. I myself am esoteric, and so I use a variety of things. I believe in light language. I utilize the high frequencies of galactics in that way. I also utilize Reiki therapy, energy healing. There's so many things, frequencies, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, isochronic tones. All of these modalities and energetic tools can assist when it comes to rewiring the subconscious. Now, I said a mouthful. I know. Get used to that with Brandy. Good old Bloomy. Okay, get used to that. I got a lot to say. And it's all, if you pay close attention, it's actually pretty heavy. I recommend starting very small and simple. I tell people this all the time. I tell my clients this. Start simple. Because that's, when we start on a small scale, and like the scale of least resistance in a particular area, we'll be at more of a state of ease, and we'll be able to like see the result probably a little bit more rapidly with less turbulence. So with that being said, just like me, I started, first of all, I got a lot of professional energetic work done. So I certainly had a lot of backup. But I also equally put in a lot of focused intention, because when you finally get to this place in your life where you're willing to look at something without judgment about yourself or about your reality that you've created, and you just sit with it and you say, okay, I'm not going to judge myself, but I'm also not going to judge nobody else. And I'm going to own and take full responsibility of the world I created, because at the end of the day, in essence, when we're ready to finally accept this truth, that we are co-creators, we are the masters of our universe, we are the masters of our experience. And I know that's hard to swallow, hard, because it's like, who the hell is going to create a reality that's hellish to themselves, right? Right. But what we don't realize, again, is our belief systems, traumas, all of that stuff that is, in essence, stored in the subconscious, is constantly co-creating and reliving even things in which you feel you wouldn't dare want to create. So, Darrell, I need you to stay inside right now, okay? Because
It didn't work.
yeah, just stay inside for this moment because it looks like they got too much going. I don't know. Just wait. Sorry, guys. So, as I said, I just got to that point, to that place in life where, you know, I allowed myself to feel it all, look at it all, take ownership, and not only just take ownership, but beyond that. Because some of us will say, well, I know it's, you know, my fault, quote unquote. Well, you know, I'm not blaming anyone else, but we'll just sit there. We'll just sit. And that's also a program. And when I decided no, I asked, I surrendered to my higher self, and I said, I'm willing to let go of everything that I think I know. I'm willing to let go of every belief system that I've been handed since I was born and beyond. I'm willing, if it means true liberation and freedom, if it means I own my power and begin to change my reality accordingly. No longer looking for externals to change the reality. No longer looking for somebody to come out of the sky and make it better. No longer looking for a government to make it better. No longer looking for a relationship to make it better. That's a big one right there. Been there. But now realizing that I am the master of my own bliss. I am. That I actually have a choice and I can change it all. If I'm willing to be an active, intentional, present participant. Otherwise, I will continue to co-create on autopilot. And when that's the case, it's a roll of the dice. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Maybe I feel good. Maybe I won't. Releasing the attachments to the external helps mega, you guys. And that's something that I am still really getting good in the groove of practicing that, because it's these attachments and these labels and meanings that we connect to the external that causes the cycle of pain and suffering. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to get too far off here. But think about this and make your own judgment call, of course, and take back your full power as a divine soul, as a divine being, and say, all right, I'm going to go for the affirmations. I'm going to do those every day. I don't care if I'm half asleep, because sometimes, I ain't going to lie to you, you guys, like that one reference said, like that subconscious going to kick up resistance, boy, I tell you, when you start trying to do something different. So, I recommend, okay, well, maybe just start, get some headphones and put something on that resonates with you when you're going to sleep, where you don't have to just like sit there. If you're the kind of person that, maybe you feel like, okay, I can't just sit there and I just can't do that. So maybe you have to start there. And if you can just consistently do that, okay, man, I'm telling you, if you can just consistently do that, the one same thing, you don't even have to search for a whole nother recording or nothing. Just choose one, all right? One, just one, all right? And every night as you're sleeping, I'm not talking about the part where, you know how we lay down, right? And we're still like watching TV, eating tater chips. So I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about when you kind of know, like, okay, I'm about to drift off. I'm pretty tired. I'm going there. And so at that time, deciding to go, all right, I'm gonna put it on, I'm gonna fall asleep. Put it on a loop. If it's something especially that you can just put on a loop, put it on a loop. And if you don't want to use the headphones, then, a good Bluetooth speaker, make sure that it's something that has like solfeggio in the background or isochronic tones playing in conjunction with it, because that's going to help. All right. If you don't really want nothing like on your ears or whatever. So that is a good starting point. So I invite you all to motivate yourself to choose one thing, one goal, one method and tool to assist with changing your subconscious in an area that you feel is really in need of some shifting, but without fighting it. Oh, I'm glad I just thought about that. Okay. I need to add a disclaimer. I'm glad I just thought about it. Okay. This beautiful soul that worked with me in a major way, she was actually the individual that did the in-depth energetic healing on me, and I think it was like a whole hour session. But she's from Australia, and she's very known, she's popular, she's very well established, so she's not new. And she practiced the Palawa, the Reiki, and the light language on my behalf. But she said this one statement regarding the lower mind. We call it the lower mind and the ego, which in essence is all of that storage of our subconscious, okay, that information, and its lower frequencies kind of resides in that lower chakra area until we ascend it into the heart. She said the worst thing that you can do is go to war with your mind. And she said that you will create an outright bloody kapow, boom, explosion and leading some people to insanity when you try to go to war, because what will happen, and what she mean by go to war is this: trying to bully yourself, basically, being harsh, trying to squelch something that's coming up. So that's what she means by that statement, going to war. What she says is, and which is very true, because I've been practicing this, is that we sit in allowance. So when you recognize something, we don't have to shame our brain or shame the lower mind, or so-called threaten and bully and talk down or bad to ourselves in the name of, if I do this, then I'll finally get a damn clue and get the shit together. Like that's like an old belief system that tells you that that's the way. Because then you're going to cause it to kick up a resistance. And so you're going to feel that struggle even more and more. And she was recommending that what you do is you sit and you feel, you honor and acknowledge, but then you lovingly kind of talk to your lower mind. You lovingly invite it to your higher heart. You lovingly command it to release beliefs, release addictions, release the need for the drama, release lovingly, and and then kind of redirect from there. But sitting in it instead of running away as we typically do. So I wanted to add that. I feel like I need to, because some may not quite understand entirely. This is not about avoidance. It's not about denial. It's not about, putting band-aids on things. That never works. But it's equally not about beating up on yourself or threatening yourself. The self-talk, or going down and bad on yourself because, oh my God, I've done this 20 times and I'm such a horrible, good for nothing, whatever we be saying. Y'all know how we do it. We're our worst critics. Not to mention we got a nice good old society that loves to have fun with that as well. So being that loving, even if you never really had that, she talked about, because we all hold archetypes within our own being. We hold the archetypes of a mother and a father. We have yin yang energy. And to be these loving, nurturing mothers to ourselves, even if we've never had an example of what that really is. But that's the source. That's the answer, even when it comes to rewiring the brain and the subconscious. We don't want to fight. The fighting is all us with us. Ooh, and that's another video. I ain't gonna even blow your mind with all that. But it's us with us. Everything in existence. It's just insane. It's all conceptual. We've co-created. And so we don't want to get into that anymore, because that's what we've been doing. We've been doing that. And so now she's just saying, instead of that, taking the stance of a loving mother and loving ourselves in the middle of the chaos that we feel, in the middle of the maybe seeing some of the devastational effects of these patterns, if you will, instead of going all judgy, instead of going all blamey and pinpointy and all that. It's kind of, I love you, Laura Mine. I love you. I honor you. I love you. You are safe. You are secure. You are nurtured. And you're allowed to feel this way. You're allowed to feel loved unconditionally. You're allowed to feel safe and nurtured. And I lovingly ask you to release all of these beliefs that have you feeling and thinking differently. And I invite you to my highest heart. Of course, setting the intention to open your heart, because if that's not open, it's going to be even a bigger challenge. So there you have it, you guys. I do apologize. I know it's a lot said, but I was really extremely inspired to do it. So hope that helped. And I do see that I have someone on. I usually do not. People usually come on either after. Every so often somebody will come on here. Ben's man from. Oh, let me wait. Sean, what's up? It's good to see you here. Hope you're enjoying Hawaii. So yeah, I hope you guys, any of you who come on at some point, I hope this has been helpful for those of you who resonate with Bloom from Within Love, okay, and what I represent here on Instagram. And again, if you ever have any questions regarding these posts, please feel free to make your comments, or if you're not free, if you don't feel comfortable doing things publicly, then of course go ahead and send me a direct message. For those of you who are interested in the services that I provide, that as well. You can inbox me, or you can make a comment here, and we can get into how all of that works, and what type of service that you're looking for. And there you have it. I appreciate you guys' support. For those of you who are followers of mine, you can support me by, of course, liking the post, sharing the post, commenting on the post. This is going to tell Instagram, as well as those of you who follow me on YouTube. It kind of gives them that, okay, this is good, and helps me to keep creating these videos for you guys for free, because I do this part as my contribution to the collective, and then of course more personalized stuff and things like that I do for the business of Bloom from Within Love. Okay, all right, so it's actually my Friday, so yeah, I'm stoked about that. It's my Friday, but for those of you who still got the rest of your work week going, Take care of yourself. Get some rest, plenty of water, all that good old stuff. And try to stay high vibe and try to stay neutral. But I'm going to talk about that on another video because I feel like that's a conjunction with us getting into this zone we want to be in. Being able to stay neutral. Neutrality that keeps you out of that up and down swings of things, you know. Anywho, I talk much now. I go. It's time for me to go. But I certainly send you all love and light. Hope you guys send me love and light. And Sean, you could have waved back to me, my friend, but it was certainly good seeing you here. Hope all is well with you. Okay, all right, you guys, until next time, everything is energy. Balance is the key. So it is, and so let it be. Namaste.